Hey class, it's Jonathan Ober. I just want to do a little recap video, just kind of refreshing everyone's mind and then touch on some of the finer points that I talked through. So again, just to recap this week, we went back over the settings and continued through the settings that we didn't get through. We talked about pages and posts and their similarities and their differences and the things that make them unique. Talked a little bit about categories and tags, and then we went through the content editor overview. I gave you some tips and tricks on some keyboard shortcuts and where you can find them and how you can utilize those. Then we talked about adding media to our pages a little bit. I'll probably go a little bit more in depth on that this week. And then we talked about, along with media, we added video to our page through Vimeo and YouTube. So as far as our settings, I'm logged in here. Again, we went through just this idea of setting you up for success. That site title, that tagline, I can't stress enough remembering to do that. And that email address, feel free to change that to yours. Some other important settings as far as time zone and date format and when your week starts. Then I'm going to drop down here to our media. Again, we talked a little bit about how when you upload files to WordPress, you're actually uploading, and then WordPress is creating kind of 3 more instances of your files. So you have your full size that you've uploaded, and then your large, medium, and thumbnail sizes. And you can control that here. Sometimes your theme might require that you have a set size. Other times you may, as the designer, want a certain size for your items, and you'll want to do that there. Then we talked about our permalink structure and just what that means as far as the permanent link to our content and how the URLs, the website addresses, will show up. I talked through about the day and name and the month and name as regards to how frequently you're posting, and maybe as a blogger you're going to want something like the year, day, or month and day alongside with your post title. Or if you're not as frequent, maybe just the month, the year and the month is fine for you. But a lot of people, when they're making a website, they're going to use this sample post format. So a lot of times I choose this post name where the URL is simply separated, each word by the hyphen. Okay, and so that's kind of what that is and when we're going to use that. So then what we did is we kind of sidetracked a little bit to this bulk page creator and just setting up multiple pages for our site. So I went to appearance and then, or not appearance, sorry, plugins, and then did add new, and I did a search for bulk page creator. Bulk page creator. Once that came up, I got this little bulk page creator here. Now this one's active. You can see here these ones say install now. So the first time you come to this, you're just going to do an install now, and then you're going to activate it. Once that plugin's activated, it'll show up here in your plugin list. There's a slight blue tint to your active plugins. So I can show you real quick. Deactivate it, and it's gray or white background there, and then activate it, it's back to blue. So it's just how we find a plugin. Go to add new, search the repository, activate and install, and then activate that plugin. You can install plugins, you don't have to activate them, but a plugin is not going to work unless it's activated. Okay. So now from there, what I did is I just kind of walked you through how I quickly upload pages. So let's say, for instance, I'm going to real quick go to a site that I'm working on, and I have an outline for that client site set up in Basecamp, and I'm just going to go ahead and go to this client and come down here to their sitemap. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to rip that off as a tab, and then we're going to look side by side at that content and the bulk page creator. Okay. So again, plugins, add new, bulk page creator. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to come here to settings and go to the bulk page creator. Okay. Now the way that this plugin works basically is that I can quickly set up new pages instead of having to go to pages, add new, and do each one individually. So from a hierarchy standpoint, looking at this list, these ones that are out here, they're my top level right on the outside. So I'm going to go ahead and go portfolio, and then firm, services, news, and then contact. So what I'm doing is I'm creating that first level page. Actually, we don't need contact because I already have that there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hit add new. Okay, so those are there. Now underneath portfolio, we have these ones here. So I'm going to go ahead and just copy and paste that list. And then again, what I'm doing is comma separating each one. And it's okay if you have a space. This space isn't going to do anything. Just comma separate it. If there's a space, there's a space. It's not going to hurt anything. Now the difference here is I'm going to choose a parent page, and I'm going to choose portfolio. Okay, go ahead and add those. And then under firm, we're going to go about, history, and team. Then we're going to choose firm. And then services, I'm going to do process client list, testimonials, eco friendly design. Okay. And I'm going to choose services. And then news doesn't have anything. So once that's all done, I need to make sure that we create these empty pages here. And we're just going to do update site. It's going to refresh that list. Now everybody is in. So now when we go to pages, come down through, my portfolio pages are now set. Okay, so that's bulk page creator. Just wanted to show you how to use that. All right, so after that, what we did is we dove right into our content editor. So I'm going to just pull up any one of these pages. Let's just say mission. I don't believe there's any content on here. Okay, and actually, just so it's not confusing, give me 1 second. I'm going to deactivate a plugin. Just want to turn that one plugin off. Right. Sorry about that. I just didn't want some of the stuff there to be in the way. Okay. So now that we've gone ahead and we're basically ready to edit this page, I'm going to click. I did a on the Mac command click just to and clicked on that permalink to open up the page that we're working on. But what I want to do is we're going to drop in some content here, and then we're just going to go down through this editor. So let's go over to lipsum.com. Actually, you know what? Yeah, that's fine. We'll just go to lipsum.com. Let's just get 5 paragraphs of text here and copy all that. And we're going to paste. Okay, so we pasted that in. Everything here is set as a paragraph. Now, let's say we wanted to add some headings in here because we want to separate our content out based off of topics. So, for instance, this is the first heading. Now, in page SEO, your page title is your H1, and you should only ever have one H1 on a page. That's your primary heading, your top heading. So this is technically our secondary heading, and what we're going to do is we're just going to choose an heading 2 there. Okay. So let's say now we've gotten down in there, and then we want to do this as heading 3, because this is actually the second level heading. All right. Now, I can do that, highlight, and come up here again and choose, or I can do a couple different things. So if this is a heading 3, before it I can put 3 hash symbols and hit return, and that will automatically convert that to a heading 3. Okay. Another thing that I can do is, let's just say this is another heading 3. I can use the key commands. Again, on a Mac, it's going to be Control Option 3, or actually I guess it would be Control Option 3 on both a Mac and a PC, because both have the Control and the Option key. Okay, and I can also do an H4 if I wanted to, or an H2, just by doing Control Option, and then the number key that works with that. Now the only thing that's different is the paragraph text, if I wanted this to go back to a paragraph text, is actually the number 7. Okay, so that's how you enter different headings. You can do the drop-down list here. You can highlight them and do the Control Option and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or you can do the hash. This is a second heading, and then I hit return and it takes that into account. Okay, so those are all ways that you can add headings to your content. Along with headings, we can highlight text, and we can do Control or Command B to bold something. We can also come in here and just click bold. We can highlight text and do the Command or the Control and the I key to do italic. Or I can come in here and I can go up here and do italic. Okay. If I want to add a list, I can hit return, hit a bullet list, and this is item 1, hit return, this is the second, third item in the list, fourth one. Okay, so I can do that. I can hit return to get out of that bullet list. I can also enter, this is direction 1. Okay, pretty easy. Return to get out. Again, bullet list and then numbered list. Okay. Oops. Sorry about that. Hit the tab button. That went over to the next tab. All right. So now let's say we want to take this text and let's make this a block quote. So we want to offset this a little bit and do that. Oops, hold on one second. Hold that. There we go. And that'll, so this theme has a block quote set as having a bar on the left, having italic text there. So if we do a preview so far to see what we've done, we can see all of our different headings are here. There's some bold text, italicized text, bold and numbered list. Here's this block quote, and there's some other paragraphs and headings there. Okay, so you can kind of see all that. All right, so that's that. All right, now we have our justification, so we can do align left, which that's not going to change anything. Here's an align center, and here's an aligned right. Okay. I want to hyperlink some things, so if we want to highlight some text, I can do a couple different things. I can, if I want to link text to content on my site, I can hit this link button, and then I can start typing like the word about. It's going to find that I have an about page. I actually have 2 created now, so I'm going to just go ahead and do that and hit apply. And then if I want, I can also highlight text and hit Command or Control and the K button. That's going to bring up this quick window, and let's say we want to go to the contact page. Again, I can type in contact and it's going to look for that. Okay. I can hit apply. Now I also, once I'm in there, so let's say I've come back and I want to edit this, I can edit this link. I can also hit this little link option. That gives me some other abilities here. It gives me a listing of all my pages. I can search my site. If I want to search my site that way for a page, I can do that there. I can also, let's say we want to highlight this text, and we're going to go into our hyperlink, and I want to do this option here. Now what I can do is I can go in and paste a link like Google, and since this is an external link, I am a big fan of when you're linking to other content, you want to link to open up in a new tab. That way when someone clicks on that, they go to that other site, but they don't leave your site, it's still open in a tab. Okay. Hyperlink, okay. So another thing, doesn't necessarily, isn't as necessary for pages, but posts, you can add this more tag, and that puts basically a forced excerpt where the cutoff is. That also will override if the theme has your excerpt cut down to like 30 characters. If you want to have like 2 paragraphs, you can do that and then hit the more tag, and that will force that excerpt to be used versus being cut off earlier. We also have this kitchen sink toggle bar, turns that on and off. We have the ability to do a strike through, so let's say we have some text and it's been redacted, we can strike through. I've never really used that on anything. Also, if you want to have a new line and then you want to put a horizontal rule underneath of it, maybe to offset this, to bring attention to this, separate this content, you know, however you want, you can put that horizontal rule in there. I like to skip over this usually, but there is text color. Don't use that. There's some better things that you can do with using your different headings and some CSS coloring. We don't really need to worry about this anymore, but before, when you were working on WordPress, you had to paste text from a Word document. You would have to paste it in this way, and then you could also do clear formatting. So let's say we didn't want this redacted. I could come in here, highlight that, and unredact it. We also have our special characters. I went through this. You know, if you need certain characters are here, trademark, registered, copyright, all that. That's all there as well. Ability to, if you want to offset this again, you can indent your content. Just show you what that looks like. Hit preview, and now you can see where we're at here. It's indented that content. So our horizontal rule, and these hyperlinks are here. This is the one that opens up into a new tab to go to Google, and then here is the one that's going to open up on that page. Okay. And then we also have our undo and our redo buttons. And then if you ever want to remember some of those keyboard shortcuts, you can go through there. They're all here. There's more than what I cover, but yeah, they're all there. Helps you just do things faster. Kind of like coffee. All right, so let's go ahead and update that. Okay. And so we talked about the content editor. I have a bunch of screenshots in here for you, as well as I linked to another document that goes in depth talking about the content editor, and I have this video, so hopefully you'll be all content editor aware. All right, so media. Now what we want to do, all right, so we save that page. Let's go ahead and come over here to YouTube. I found a video of cute little Pomsky. I'm going to go ahead and just grab this video's share link. Okay, so I can hit share, grab that, and if I want to paste that somewhere in here, I can just paste that link, and that will refresh and play right in my page. I can hit update again, and that's right there. Okay. Same thing with a Vimeo video. If you need to do that, you can go ahead and grab that video. Oh, that's a trailer. Let's not grab a trailer. Here we go. All right, so now with this one, we can just grab this link up here, come over here, click someplace in our content, and go ahead and click that. I can also, if I want to center, I guess you can't. I thought you could center the videos. Nope, I was wrong. All right, so let's update that and see where that goes. And there we go, there's our video. Nice thing is that these videos, they scale for mobile, so responsive, very nice. Okay. Oh, other media, images. Duh. All right, so let's go ahead and scroll down here, and let's just put our cursor here, and we're going to do add media. And I have a couple images here. I'm just going to go ahead and click on one, and I can align that to the left. I can leave these things here. I actually normally just turn that off unless I need that image to link to something bigger. Go ahead and hit insert, and that'll put that image right there. And then let's say here we want to do a horizontal line. There. And then let's say we click here again, add media. Let's add this picture. This time we'll do right, and go ahead and insert into page, update, and there you go. Okay. So that's pretty much the gist of what we covered. What I'm hoping this week is that we'll go through themes and start working on selecting themes based off of the ideas that you have. I did talk a little bit about some of the different content. I also took a picture of the board and the different site examples that you are all thinking about. So we're going to probably talk about those a little bit more and some of the different ideas that can go along with those as we're thinking about our themes. So that's it. If you have any questions, let me know. As always, give me a call, shoot me an email or a text. See you on Thursday.